so I have a little secret for you. I'm gonna share this next recipe, which is kind of a big deal. It's the recipe that really started it all for me with Rhi-Created. This is my chocolate orgasm cookie. Yeah, it's that good. It's amazing, it's simple, it's super healthy, and really fun to make. And you'll see how easy it is also. It's gluten-free. I make it with almond flour. It can be vegan, depending on the chocolate that you use. Totally paleo, depending on the sweetener that you used, and awesome. Everybody loves this. So here we go. I'm gonna start off with 2 cups of blanched almond flour. That's almond meal. You want a nice, super fine almond flour. I'm gonna add a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I like to use a good sea salt. Kind of get that all mixed together. You can use a whisk. Right now I'm using a fork because I want to show you just how easy it is. I'm going to throw in 1/4 cup of cocoa, unsweetened cocoa. Make it all nice and chocolatey. You know, when I was creating this recipe, I was thinking, I want something delicious, which for me, that means chocolate. And I wanted something so good, it was like orgasmic. What's better, right? Let's be honest. Here's what we got. Okay, so my chocolate's mixed in. I'm going to add a little bit of unsweetened coconut shreds, add some added fiber, a little bit of protein. Almond meal is such a great flour. I love it when I'm cooking for either a paleo crowd or gluten-free. It's a nut flour, so it's added fiber, added protein. It's not additional starch or sugar, which a lot of your other flours are. Okay, now here's the good stuff. I've got some chopped up dried cherries and chopped up dried cranberries. They're fantastic. Coarsely chopped pistachios, a favorite nut of mine, and dark chocolate chunks. It's gonna get really good in here. Okay, I'm gonna mix my liquids. I've got 1/3 cup of coconut oil. I'm gonna add 1/3 cup of agave. Could also use honey. Could even play with maple syrup if you decided. All right, I'm mixing my liquids right here. Perfect. Gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla. Throw that in there, mix it right up. Coconut oil is my favorite oil for baking. It's so versatile. I love the flavor. It really adds another dimension that just nothing else touches when you're baking. It's so fantastic. Okay, so we're gonna mix our liquids to our dry ingredients, and then we'll throw in all the accessories, as my daughter Zari would say. The chocolate, the nuts, and the dried berries that are so good. Okay, so there goes all the liquid, all the wet ingredients. Let's mix it together. This recipe is so fun. You know, as gifts before, I've given the dry ingredients stacked in a mason jar. It looks adorable, with instructions on how to bake it. I have made the dough and frozen it, or put it in the fridge for a while because there's no eggs, so it'll keep for quite a while. It's just a really fun, festive cookie. It works great. And I've gotten tons of compliments on it also, so you'll definitely have to try it. This is one, when I have clients come to me who have a food allergy concern, you know, one of the first things they tell me, especially if someone is gluten-free or egg intolerant or has issues with dairy, you know, that's great, but what about a treat? Like, what about a cookie? What about whatever their favorite, you know, sweet is? And this is a fantastic substitute to really treat your body and not feel guilty about it. So you can stick to your new healthy lifestyle. Works out really well. Okay, this looks fantastic. Perfect. I'm gonna mix in my dried cherries and dried cranberries, some pistachios, and the chocolate, of course. All right, we're gonna mix this all together. Oh, you can just see the love. Beautiful. These cookies really are meant to be shared. So you do make a batch. I know you're gonna be tempted, but don't eat the whole thing. Do share them. All right, we're almost ready to go. A little trick that I use when I'm baking and doing cookies and cookie dough, I don't actually roll things out with my hands. That can work, but you'll get kind of inconsistent results. I like to use an ice cream scoop. Works great. I get the same size every time, and it's fast, so that's really nice, especially with kids. I love to cook healthy, but I don't want to spend all day in the kitchen. I'd rather, you know, like do an art project or play Legos or something fun. So here we go. All right, that looks fantastic. And scoop them out. All right, level scoops. Plop it right on my mat. Some chocolatey goodness right there. Here we go. Boom. It's just nice and uniform. They look great. They're pretty for parties or for an afternoon by yourself, whatever. This is a great way when I start working with people for them to still have a treat and feel satiated without having to totally splurge, blow their diet, go off the deep end and have something that their body really doesn't want. This is a much healthier option and super easy to make too. Okay, here's my last one. Perfect. Kind of keep them together. Voila. I'm gonna pop these in the oven for 350, bake them for about 6 to 8 minutes, just depends on your oven. You'll notice they're done when they start to lightly brown. They're not going to expand, they're gonna keep their same shape. Again, there's no eggs, they're not gonna grow, but they'll be just perfect in such a short time. So here we go. Oh yeah, that was amazing. 6 minutes, and I have this. Chocolate orgasm cookie. Gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan-free, guilt-free. Take a bite, take a breath, and enjoy.